Hello and welcome to your English news broadcast here on our ERi-TV. It's exactly 10:30 p.m. on Eritrea's local time from our headquarters at Asmara with your local and global news. I'm Zahra Badouri, but first we'll begin with your exclusives for this broadcast. Message of President Eritrea-Egypt to President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. Conference of Earth Scientists and Mining Engineers. Hungary says EU stabbed its economy in the heart with Russian sanctions. And the Democratic Republic of Congo's M23 rebels to withdraw from Walikale in peace gesture. Your news in brief. Mr. Osman Saleh, Minister of Foreign Affairs, today delivered in Cairo message of President Eritrea-Egypt to President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi of the Republic of Egypt. The message focused on further consolidation of all-rounded bilateral ties and other matters of mutual importance to both countries. Enhancement of bilateral cooperation in the political, economical and trade sectors were discussed in greater detail in the subsequent meeting. The meeting was attended by Dr. Badr Abdel-Ati, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Major General Hassan Rashad, head of the Egyptian General Intelligence Service, as well as Mr. Aman Abdel-Wasi, Eritrea's charge d'affaires at the embassy in Cairo. Mr. Osman Saleh also met and held talks yesterday with Dr. Badr Abdel-Ati, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Egypt. The meeting focused on further enhancing the existing ties between the two countries in the political, economical and trade sectors. The consultation also included discussions on the security of the Red Sea and other matters of mutual interest. Eritrea's charge d'affaires at the Eritrean embassy in Cairo, Mr. Aman Abdel-Wasi, participated in the talks. On your final domestic, the Earth Scientists and Mining Engineers Association of Eritrea held its conference on 21 and 22 March at the National Confederation of Eritrean Workers Hall here in the capital, Asmara, under the theme Responsible Mining for Sustainable Development. Mr. Alam Kibrab, Director General of Mining at the Ministry of Energy and Mining, stated that the main reason for establishing the Earth Scientists and Mining Engineers Association was to facilitate a knowledge transfer, promote research and technological advancement, nurture a new generation of engineers and scientists, and create a forum for experts to share experiences and explore new findings. During the conference, research papers were presented on topics such as an overview of Eritrea's mining policies and laws, best practices and case studies from several operational mining companies, base metal and gold discoveries at various sites across the country, field assessment of recent earthquakes in the Foro and Badda areas, environmental impact assessments for mining project development and mineral extraction methods from geothermal water in Alid, among other relevant subjects. Participants held extensive discussion to this matter on the current state of the mining sector in Eritrea and its future prospects. The conference also adopted a revised constitution for the association and elected a new executive committee. Your global after this. Stay tuned. Hungarian Foreign Minister Peter Szijjártó has said the sanctions against Russia have greatly backfired on the EU economy and are becoming increasingly ridiculous and harmful with each new package. In an exclusive interview with RT released on Saturday, Szijjártó reiterated that the bloc's measures targeting Russia have failed in both of their presumed goals to destabilize the country's economy and bring about an end to the Ukrainian conflict. The EU has adopted 17 packages so far of sanctions against Russia since the escalations of hostilities in February 2022. Hungary, however, while critical of the approach, has ultimately backed each round, but only after craving out exemptions, including from the oil embargo and restrictions on the nuclear sector. Both Budapest and Moscow, as well as numerous international observers have maintained that the restrictions have backfired on the nations that imposed them. Prime Minister Sujarto told RT that he urged that the sanctions have eroded the EU's competitiveness and isolated the bloc. Now, Sujarto said Brussels is preparing a 17th round despite the obvious failure of the strategy, which he said made nonsense. Prime Minister Sujarto reported also was becoming unserious. He said also it was becoming unserious, ridiculous and harmful for Brussels to squeeze out new restrictions for the sake of anti-Russian ideology. According to the minister, Budapest has made it very clear that it won't support any future sanctions in Hungary's international interests if international interests were in danger. He also expressed concerns about the EU's growing materialization and plans to continue supplying Ukraine with weapons, warning that such decision prolonged the war and increased the risk of escalations. On your final report, M23 rebels staging an offensive in the Eastern Democratic Republic of the Congo will withdraw their forces from the town of Walikale, which they took control over this week. In support of efforts to address the conflict, a rebel alliance that includes M23 has reported. The Congo River Alliance said in a statement on Saturday that it had decided to reposition its forces from Walikale and surrounding areas. The Congolese government, however, reported it hoped the move would be translated into concrete action after M23 this week pulled out of planned talks with Congolese authorities in Angola at the last minute due to European Union sanctions on some of its leaders and Rwandan officials. It would have been its first direct engagement with the DRC's government after President Felix Tshisekedi reversed his long-standing refusal to speak to the rebels. The discussion was in line with a ceasefire declared in February and in support of peace initiatives. The alliance said in a statement that it was agreed with skepticism by DRC's government army forces. A senior member of the alliance who did not wish to be named told the Reuters news agency that repositioning meant withdrawing to give peace a chance. The source declined to say where the M23 rebels would withdraw. The weaponized conflict has taken at least 8,000 lives and displaced hundreds of thousands from their homes since it began in 2025 January. Dear viewers, that is all for now with your domestic and international news in brief. Until we are back with some more news, stay and enjoy with the rest of our programs and keep being updated with our news headlines here on ERi-TV. These are your recap of the exclusives. Message of President Isaias Afwerki to President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi of Egypt. Conference of earth scientists and mining engineers here in the central region, capital Asmara. Hungary says EU stabbed its economy in the heart with Russian sanctions, and the Democratic Republic of Congo M23 rebels to withdraw from Walikale in peace gesture. Thanks for watching once more, and bye-bye for now.